Not that it's too much to bear. And cost of living now is rising everywhere. Poverty in Jamaica, poverty in Grenada, poverty in Trinidad, Africa, the whole over. See them chop, see them shot, me see them just got the kids out all over. March, you think I'm afraid. They gave the jail and the hospital. All what they do can't stop me at all. They gave the jail and the hospital. I suffer it from the day I small. They gave the jail and the hospital. Me mama, bullshit and ball. They gave the jail and the hospital. Oh mama, you think I'm afraid. They gave the jail and the hospital. All what they do can't stop me at all. They gave the jail and the hospital. Me mama, bullshit and ball. They gave the jail and the hospital. I suffer it from the day I small. They gave the jail and the hospital. Politicians looking for ways to fight on crime, and on the other hand they promote it same time. If I can get a work where I go get a dime, then every day I go sit out a road and lime. But when it is time to eat, and I feeling hungry, and I day out on the street, and I ain't got no money, well a rich man fasting it is past, well then I go to me. Because of the poverty everywhere, them job and them shot, they just don't seem to care. Well, things keep getting hot and it's too much to bear. And cost of living now is rising everywhere. Poverty in Jamaica, poverty in Grenada, poverty in Trinidad, Africa, the whole over. See them chop, see them shot, me see them just got the kids out all over. March, you think I'm afraid. They gave the jail and the hospital. All what they do can't stop me at all. They gave the jail and the hospital. I suffer it from the day I small. They gave the jail and the hospital. Me mama, bullshit and ball. They gave the jail and the hospital. Oh mama, you think I'm afraid. They gave the jail and the hospital. All what they do can't stop me at all. They gave the jail and the hospital. Me mama, bullshit and ball. They gave the jail and the hospital. I suffer it from the day I small. They gave the jail and the hospital. Politicians looking for ways to fight on crime, and on the other hand they promote it same time. If I can get a work where I go get a dime, then every day I go sit out a road and lime. But when it is time to eat, and I feeling hungry, and I day out on the street, and I ain't got no money, well a rich man fasting it is past, well then I go rob me. Mama, she think I'm afraid. They gave the jail and the hospital. All what they do can't stop me at all. They gave the jail and the hospital. I suffer it from the day I small. They gave the jail and the hospital. Me mama, bullshit and ball. They gave the jail and the hospital. Oh mama, she think I'm afraid. They gave the jail and the hospital. All what they do can't stop me at all. They gave the jail and the hospital. Me mama, bullshit and ball. They gave the jail and the hospital. I suffer it from the day I small. They gave the jail and the hospital. You know what I know? Imagine Grenada Carnival, Trinidad Carnival, Liberty, Miami, any Carnival. How we have this chant going on? How it go? How it go? How it go? Get the job a penny to buy a bird and feed the shotty before he dead. Get the job a penny chop chop to buy a bird chop chop and feed the shotty chop chop before he dead. Chop chop. Get the job a penny chop chop to buy a bird chop chop. Well feed the shotty chop chop before he dead. Chop chop. From the first time I sing it was about old mass, and I will never stop no matter what it costs. I have my style, it is different than what's my task. To walk a different road that only I could pass. But some guys who envious and listen for features. See get to youth want to pass, and it's like they were black horse. The wrong road they choose, they get abused, and now I win and they lose. Oh mama, she think I'm no free. They gave the jail and the hospital. All what they do can't stop me at all. They gave the jail and the hospital. I suffer it from the day I small. They gave the jail and the hospital. Me mama, bullshit and ball. They gave the jail and the hospital. Oh mama, she think I'm no free. They gave the jail and the hospital. All what they do can't stop me at all. They gave the jail and the hospital. Me mama, bullshit and ball. They gave the jail and the hospital. I suffer it from the day I small. They gave the jail and the hospital. I sing about all woman and people love it bad. Play 6 in Grenada but out in Trinidad. Anyway, that was the judge's opinion, and that didn't make me weak, it only made me strong. They have some guys feeling that they bad, and they can't wrong. Children run away, them old woman. She think I'm no free. They gave the jail and the hospital. All what they do can't stop me at all. They gave the jail and the hospital. I suffer it from the day I small. They gave the jail and the hospital. Me mama, bullshit and ball. They gave the jail and the hospital. Oh mama, she think I'm no free. They gave the jail and the hospital. All what they do can't stop me at all. They gave the jail and the hospital. Me mama.
And good night to you, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Once again, it is time for Talking Points. My name's Sheldon Scott. I'll be here with you up until, in fact, due to the late start tonight, a little after the 10 o'clock hour, yeah? Yeah, I'll be giving you back your time tonight, just making sure one or two things are right here, yeah? To bring in somebody via Zoom, so I just have to make sure that's set up properly. Yeah, the jab man himself, Talpri. Let me touch our Talpri there again, man.
Your mother, where is my rags? Every artist thing got rag. Where is my rags? Invasion of the rags. I was sing about rag and he marching up Trinidad. Super sing about rag, stick so come on in his bag. So I want everybody this year just hold it with your rags. All the years I sing about on mass, I never sing about no flags. So when the man they say hold it up, I tell you to hold it down. And wait they hold on, wait until it all break. So when I walk come, and when Super come, and when Maga come, but when Talpri come, get a man, Grenada, Trinidad, Jamaica, you run, you flag, you run, you flag, you run, you flag, you run, you flag, just move and get some man. My fans keep harassing me morning, night and afternoon. All they want to know is when I come in with a rap tune. So I take a look very carefully, half all years gone by. When them artists they raise the rock, people don't ask them how high. So this say I say we go to see the most among the rocks fly. But Talpri, yes Talpri, just wave them in the sky. But when Specky come, and when Sheldon come, oh we go. And when Zingo come, yes man now. But when Talpri come, get a man, Grenada, Trinidad, Jamaica, you rag, you flag, you rag, you flag, you rag, you flag. Oh we go, oh we go. Show the rags, I want to again. It goes like that. The rags up in the air. Some say carnival is color, some say carnival is mask. I say carnival is rags and flags in them everywhere I pass. Before the rags sing out of style, I got to got my share. Everybody does sing about rags, so come on people be fair. Wait until the show I'll bring them and then you got to prepare.
Just letting the numbers build as usual.
But when JD come, and when Rookie come, and when Ricky come, but when Talpri come, get a man, Grenada, Trinidad, Jamaica, you rag, you flag, you rag, you flag, you rag, you flag, you rag, you flag, just move and get some man. I was sing about rag, and he marching up Trinidad. Super sing about rag, stick so come on in his bag. So I want everybody this year just holding on with two rags. All the years I sing about old mass, I never sing about no flags. So when the man they say hold it up, I tell you to hold it down. And wait they hold on, wait until that break. So when I walk come, and when Super come, and when Maga come, but when Talpri come, get a man, Grenada, Trinidad, Jamaica, you rag, you flag, you rag, you flag, you rag, you flag, you rag, you flag, just move and get a man.
Sure that many people will agree if I say she's blessed by the Almighty. Oh God, the standard of skills and talent we have down there in this land, it is too much for me to mention. Yeah. The level of education keep rising to higher heights, and if I'm wrong, don't say that I'm right. No, I want to tell body. I'm so proud of my country. Don't care wherever I may be. I say Grenada belong to me. No country in this world could do the things that my country would do for me. I am proud. I love my Grenada, my homeland for.
Yes, folks, so roughly at about 8:30, I should be joined by Dr. Panchu. I just was making sure that he had the Zoom information and so on, so I just sent that off to him. All right, we've got quite a lot to speak about tonight here because believe me, I was watching a particular I was looking at some stuff today and I can't believe some of the things I hear some people saying. Yeah, I cannot believe some of the stuff that I heard some people saying. Yeah, and I'm not talking about one or two things, man. Man, oh man, oh man. And imagine government, like they're trying to confuse you. So they actually had two media appearances at the same time. So you had the Prime Minister one way, and then you had the Minister of Finance another way. But I pay attention to the Minister of Finance. We're going to talk about the Prime Minister and the Minister, because really, they just had a press conference to say they had a press conference, to tell the now outgoing police commissioner thank you, and the incoming police commissioner thank you, and announce that they have some changes that we already told you were coming to the hierarchy of the Royal Grenada Police Force. So nothing really special. So I paid attention more to the appearance of the Minister of Finance. And when we completed the conversation that we will soon be having with Dr. Pancho, we will be going in depth into that as well. Yeah, we will be discussing various aspects of that media interaction this morning. Yeah, we're going to make sure we're doing that a little later on. All right, nice, beautiful.
The land of my grandfather, she will always prosper. Oh, my Grenada, land of peace and culture. Grenada is such a paradise, oh God. But a lot of folks don't realize. If we learn.
Yeah, believe me, I've got a lot to say about what the Minister of Finance had to say today. I believe he was intellectually disingenuous with the majority of the Grenadian people. He couldn't be with all of us because many of us too smart to be fooled by the nonsense he was talking. But you never know, you understand?
Such as the United States, who's so wealthy, I just beg the Father to have some mercy. When I see madness in society, oh God, sometimes I put on my TV to check out the daily news. The things I see that have me confused, eh? The number of crime and
folks, and I want you to remember to like and share the live. Yeah, like and share the live. Those of you that are viewing on a nightly basis but not yet subscribed to the YouTube page, I want you to go look under the video. You would see a little bell and the word subscribed. Click and subscribe. If you're not subscribed yet, if you're already subscribed and you know you get the notifications, Talking Points is live or Talking Points is coming on at that particular time. If you're subscribed, that's okay. You don't want to go and unsubscribe yourself now. But if you are not yet subscribed, make sure that you're subscribed to the page, because outside of our nightly programs, you will soon be seeing other content being put out by the Talking Points page. Yeah. So you'll be seeing different things coming out, some of them of a historical nature, etc. So you'll be seeing a lot of stuff coming out via Talking Points over the next few months into the next year and so. So please, we need you to subscribe to the page. I think I'm at 1,700 or so. Let's see if we can get it to 2,000 by the end of next week, right? And probably 3,000 by the end of next month, because we know we have more than that are viewing the program. So those of you on YouTube, we need you to subscribe. All right? And those of you that are on Facebook, we need you to like the Talking Points page. We need you to like the video and share it. I want to make sure that before the end of tonight, we have at least 100 likes on both YouTube and Facebook. Yeah? Matthew, I'm challenging you tonight. Nice. At least 100 likes on both YouTube and Facebook. All right? So we want to make sure that we spread our message. There are others who are very concerned, who are very worried about the fact that Talking Points is on and that we are able to speak to the Grenadian people. They're very worried about that for whatever reason. If what we're saying doesn't make sense and what we're saying is not truthful, they shouldn't be worried about what we have to say. Yeah? They should be very, very happy. They should not be worried about what it is that Talking Points has to say. If Talking Points talking nonsense or Talking Points is saying things that are untrue, they ought not be worried about anything. But I find some of them seem to be very, very, very worried about Talking Points. And remember, I keep telling you all, because there's this misconception that Talking Points is Sheldon Scott. No, Talking Points is each and every one of you that tune in on a nightly basis. It's those of you that send me the information or confirm information for me. They're afraid you all. I am just the conduit to put the information out there. So Talking Points isn't Sheldon. Talking Points is each and every one of us. Those of you who I ask for assistance in relation to getting some information or so, and you assist. Those of you that sometimes I may even need a lift and I can call on and I'd get the lift. And Zoe, that I can get a lift. So Talking Points is not just Sheldon. It's each and every one of you that view on a nightly basis and that take the message of Talking Points out there. All right? It is Talking Points. We create the Talking Points in this country on this program. Yeah? And many of you reach out to me all hours of the day and night. Are getting calls and messages, and so, you know, that's why sometimes I just have to silence the phone after a certain time at night. But I get the messages and so. All right? So, and for those of you that are still waiting to be added to the Talking Points group, I will add you this week. Yeah, we've had to create a second group because the first group kind of, you understand? So we had to create a second one. We're going to ensure that everybody is getting the information, getting the messages. And so I saw today that the Ministry of Health, for instance, put out a press release earlier today. And it was in relation to the issue. Let me just make sure here. It was in relation to the issue of the dengue, that they have seen a further increase in dengue cases in Grenada. So folks, we need to make sure that we keep our surroundings clean. You see, especially with the little rain that's falling. Yeah, we know the mosquitoes love that. And it could be a cruncock. Yeah, from a malt or a beer or even a Coca-Cola. It could be the cruncock from that. That's in the yard. And the rain has fallen. The water settles inside there. The mosquitoes can breathe inside of there. So we have to be careful. Hey, let me say, I'm going to say a special good night to my soldier partner. I ain't going to call his name. Them fellas do a lot. So I'm saying a special good night to my soldier partner. You know who he is. Looking good day, fella. Looking good day. Nice. Yeah. So folks, it could be the crunchocks, whatever it is. You have to do a general cleanup around your area and encourage your neighbors, encourage your friends to do the same around theirs, around your business place and nearby business places as well. And even abandoned areas, contact the authorities, tell them, look, there's an area there, there's a mosquito breeding site there because they have all sorts of old thing jam up in this place there, nobody does come and check it out, and so we need that place cleaned. So make sure and contact, make sure and say what is taking place. All right, nice. Make sure that you get that information out to the authorities so that the fogging crew can go there or the Ministry of Health can go and notify what is taking place there. All right, so we need to ensure that we do what we have to do when we have to do. All right, nice, beautiful. Let me just give you all a nice one here.
Yes, man. the land where I was born. I know you were suffering. Men have raped you and abused you.
So as I said tonight, we have a lot of discussions to go on tonight. Yeah, we had to talk about we Papa tune. You know, all you know I go play his tune, his entrance tune. You know I gonna play that before we start to talk, eh?
I haven't got diamond, silver, nor even gold, but blessings I give to its west, north, and south. Oh, Grenada, Grenada, here I come, sweet, sweet Grenada. I will never, ever, ever let you down. Oh no, I'll always be your support, right here by your side. With my arms around you to wipe your weeping eyes. Oh, yeah.
Let me say a special good night to those of you under the live. Let me see. I'm seeing Landon, Charmaine, Ingrid, Veronica, Maudlin, Jill. Hey, Jerry! Papa Jerry, the original. Veronica, Kisha Walcott, good night to you. Cynthia, Jillian, good night to you. Abigail, Tora, good night to you. And let me see, Dwight, good night to you. Theresa, good night to you. Toya, you have Toya and you have Toya. So good night to both of them. Martin Charles, a special good night to you. Oh, and advance birthday greetings to Jill Williams. Birthday greetings to you, Jill. All right. Donna Landon, good night. And let me see. I saw Dwight there. James Arnold. And let me see. Maudlin, good night to you. Loretta. Yvonne Courtney, good night. And Andrews Walland. Kathy Pope, good night to you. Red Girl, Pascal, good night. Raphael, and I'm seeing Denise and William Pear. I'm seeing you. And there's a call online. Let me take the call. Hello, good night.
Hello, good night.
Hi, good night.
Hello.
Hey, my brother, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. It's been a while, man.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, man. How things going with you?
We're going okay. You know, talking points is talking points.
Right. Doing good. That's good, man. That's good. I mean, I want to say nice to you and talk to everyone on there with local, foreign, and everyone, you know. I want to say
Yeah.
I come on, Sheldon, now to provide some updates, you know.
Yeah.
And also for the last month, and so you all have been really
One moment, your voice is kind of coming and going. I'm not sure if it's you're using a device or whatever on your phone.
Okay,
but
you not hearing clearly.
Yeah, not hearing you that clearly, but proceed. Go ahead. And folks, we're speaking to our kidney patient here. Yeah, go right ahead.
Yes. Oh, okay. Yes. Right. So I was saying, I don't really hear me clearly. You hearing better now?
Yeah. You go ahead.
All right. So yes, I was saying. I mean, yeah, I know when we started into this start the journey with the help, and so my goal was always, you know, to get a chance to I could see for myself as well. So I was actively looking for jobs, and so you know the dialysis patient is very hard, you know. That's not very hard task to get a job. But I wanted to say tonight and to study odds for the last for the month of me. I've started a new job, and that has really been helpful. So I come on here to really say and then to thanks to everyone. You know, I really want to appreciate everyone who supported me very, 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 very well. I want to thank Ms. Cammy clearly has been that point person. You know,
yes, Cammy has been exceptionally beautiful in this one.
She faithfully distributed, she collected, she put away out to be there for the situation. And everyone, so some people I know they have given the sacrifice a lot hard, and so and I want to really say I'm very grateful, you know, because even though the fight is still on and the fight is still a struggle to go, it's a little better now, you know, a little better now. I have a chance of being facing a better, and I want to really, really appreciate everybody and thank everybody. I even want to thank the people outside of talking points who don't the program, but it always comes and it always even give help to me along the way. So it has been a really it has been a complete I'm saying. I mean, everybody's foreign who has called me and who has given support and giving contribution. Everyone locally, I don't know everybody's names who has done it. I didn't see them, but they have come and they have given. I want to say thanks. I want to thank very much. And yeah, somebody appreciate that very much. We have been very helpful, and you as well as really, really, really helpful too. So I want to say thanks to everyone, all the talking points family, everyone who supported generously the sacrifice. I want to say thank you very much. I want to go on to that before you go on to the program. I want to just let you know that. All right. So I want to thank everybody again, and let's continue to have a good program tonight.
All right. Thank you very much, my brother. You and the family have a wonderful night.
Yes, man, and you do take care of yourself, all right?
All right, no problem. Thank you.
All right, yes.
Yes, folks. And so, yeah, that was our kidney patient. I know it was kind of difficult to hear what he was saying. I hope you all did hear that from the beginning, he always said he was trying to find a job. But as a dialysis patient, you would understand it's difficult to find a job as a dialysis patient. He has found a job. Things are a lot better with him. Yes, he still needs a little assistance in between, but it's a lot better. So he thought it important to let everyone know that now he is employed. All right? It doesn't mean that he still doesn't need a little help now and again, but he found it important to let everybody know that he's now employed, and to especially thank Cami. And I think, listen, maybe we have to give Cami a national award, because for the things that I see Cami doing, it's not just the collection of the money on behalf of the dialysis patient and so. Cami is a point of contact for a lot of people. Your children, you need to leave, so you could check Cami and so on. Yes, we all know Cami. She's a very emotional person. So what she feels, she ain't leaving it like Bonner and she can't sleep. She's saying it. We understand that. But I would like to say a special thank you to Cami. He has said it, and I'm repeating it as well. A special thank you to Cami and to all of you who have been assisting him over the past few months. Some of you outside of Grenada have made sure and sent down your donation to assist him as well. So he wants to thank you. I want to thank you on behalf of the Talking Points family as well for what you have done and continue to do. All right, folks, we're going to take a short break here while I get Dr. Pancho in with us. Let me just make sure I have everything honky-dory day, and let me bring him in.
Yes, man. Grenada, the land where I was born. I know you were suffering. Men have raped you and abused you and left you there crying. I devote my heart, my body and my soul. I stretch forth my helping hand to help you out. I haven't got diamond, silver, nor even gold, but blessings I give to east, west, north and south. Oh, Grenada, Grenada, here I come, sweet, sweet Grenada. I will never, ever, ever let you down. Oh no. Oh yeah. Dun, dun. It's quite a
Oh boy, folks, just give me 1 minute. The live just crashed on me. The live computer just crashed on me. Give me just 1 moment, Dr. Pancho. Just give us 1 moment because the live just crashed on me. Yeah. Just trying to get it back up. So just give me 1 moment, please.
So that, yeah. They just don't bother. Some of your friends have turned their backs on you. They don't want to see a friend with your name on it. Don't bother with them. One day you go rise up too. Cause in times to come is the bread they might have. listen, it's time that we take a stand to defend your position from all those smart rip-off scams who just come to take a bite and make their own decision and boast to the world that they are the reigning champs. While your friends them happy, had times they were going through, they still wouldn't help you out if you beg them please. But one.
So folks, we apologize for that. Yeah, the system, you know, computers already. The system went down for a little while there. I don't know if it was one of the little outages we've been having recently, but the system went down for a little while. It is back up, but I want us to start our conversation with Dr. Panchu. Somebody's calling now to find out what's going on. Yeah, they just have to, folks, just let each other know that they would have to just go back to the original link and restart, because we've had a little problem there. It has restarted. I know on YouTube you're okay, but on Facebook, I know that folks would have started viewing again. Yeah, they'd have to start from scratch. So on Facebook, they'll join us in this conversation because we have a limited amount of time with Dr. Pancho. You know, Zoom does get a limited amount of time. So, and we say a special good night to you, Dr. Pancho. How are you doing tonight?
Man, I am doing fabulous, Sheldon. I am really excited about joining you and our faithful listeners both on Facebook Live and YouTube channel tonight as we navigate and in really great discussion. I think we have a lot to talk about. Maybe we will not have time to talk about all that I have in my mind, because I know you probably have a lot of questions for me also. But yeah, thank you for this opportunity again, and I look forward to joining you any and every time.
All right, thank you so very much. We've been hearing several happenings taking place on the local scene especially. And we know first of all, I heard of an incident at the mental home, and I'm wondering, how could something like that happen? I mean, you've worked in that environment before. You have worked in that environment before. Explain to us how something like that can happen.
Okay, well, first of all, let me say that I want to empathize in a lot of ways with the staff of the Mungay psychiatric facility, because to have or to learn or to have to confiscate a loaded gun on campus in the possession of a patient is a terrifying thought, a very, very terrifying thought. So I just want to reach out to them. You know, some of them might even be scared or anxious, because if it happens once, Sheldon, there is a possibility that it could happen again. And so what that incident is going to teach us, hopefully, a lesson or a lot of lessons about the safety of the institution and the staff and personnel who offer their services to clients and patients at the Mungay facility. You have to remember, Sheldon and our listeners, that the psychiatric facility at Mungay is uniquely set up because of the clientele that they serve. They're serving at the Mungay facility clients who have mental health challenges. And it's totally different to that of the hospital, because at the hospital you have people who are incapacitated by through injury, etc. And most of the time their thought processes are logical. But when you look at the clientele at the psychiatric hospital, a lot of times people who are hospitalized with severe mental health challenges, they're not thinking logical. They might be hearing voices. They might be seeing things that are not real, and voices that tell them to do things that can cause harm to self and others. And so what we saw there it's a breach of the security of the facility, both for the client, the patient, and for the staff who provide services for them. So you asked the question, and now I'm ready to answer the question. How can something like that happen? Well, it happens because maybe carelessness, or maybe it could be a sense, a false sense of security. Because I understand that the package that came for the client or the patient was seen, and so maybe not a good enough search of that package that came, whether it is through clothing and personal belongings, or whether it is through food or other items. It means that the security at the psychiatric facility had a lapse in providing security, Sheldon. And this is a very it's a very touchy sort of situation to find yourself, where the staff feels unsafe. We all want to feel safe at our workplace. Yes, Sheldon.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the situation, and I understand that there are also staffing issues at that facility.
Yes.
I have been hearing complaints in relation to staffing, not enough staff, and even not having the proper equipment to work as staff. Also, some of what I've been hearing as well is that when it comes to medication, some of the medication that we've been hearing about that's in short supply are some of the medication that they need at that facility. And that's a dangerous thing, because you're putting the staff, the frontline people, the same staff who just had to face somebody with from what we're hearing, a loaded gun, are also facing people who are not receiving the types and amount of medication that they ought to be receiving.
Absolutely, Sheldon, and I'm glad that you raised it. The security. Security is not just about a person sitting at the gate and monitoring packages and people in and out. No, it's more than that. You know, incidentally, you have just mentioned one of the greatest deterrents, and that is at any psychiatric facility, any locked facility that treats people with mental health issues. One of the greatest assets to keep the facility safe is that of having the correct medication, the correct diagnosis, and the correct treatment plan. So here are two things that you mentioned, and it's not just because you mention it, but this is the understanding that's happening right now. One, there is a lack of adequate personnel to service and to serve the needs of the patients at the Mungay psychiatric facility. There is no question about that. Okay, so you have a lack of adequate staffing, which is an issue. But secondly, which is probably more important than the staffing, or equally important as the staffing, is that of the adequate medication. And on your program, well, it's not just your program. Recently in Parliament, we were made to understand that there is a shortage of certain medications in Grenada, and one of those medications is the anti-anxiety and antidepressants that are so commonly used among the patients at the Mungay facility. So when you look, you're talking about Haldol, you're talking about Xanax. These are two of the most commonly used medication at the Mungay psychiatric facility. And as far as we know, those medications are in shortage right now. So it could be that that presence or absence, of the medication exacerbated that condition or that incident that we have. So we have to be very cautious about the staffing, but we also have to be cautious about the provision of the correct therapeutic and medication regimen for our patients.
Over the past few weeks, we've had two situations where individuals, in one instance, the individual did end up causing the death of another, and harm to others, arson, different things like that. And in another, we have where a mentally challenged individual attacked and seriously wounded a lady relative. What can we do as a nation to mitigate against such circumstances? That we have people out there who seem to be, I don't know if they have ever been at the facility, if they've been treated. I don't know what the situation in each case is. But what can we do as a country to deal with issues like these so that we don't have more of them taking place? We don't want to have people out there who might be, for instance, schizophrenic and may not be in touch with reality and cause the death maybe of an elder or of a young one. What can we do to mitigate against situations like that?
Right, and just before I answer this question, let me echo some disheartening news I heard today from the outgoing Commissioner of Police, Mr. Edwin Martin. Okay, today he said, as he is taking his exit as of today, that there is an upsurge in violent crimes and the proliferation of gun violence in Grenada. These are his words. He said that sexual assault, which is of course a violent crime also, is down by 64% for the first quarter of this year compared to last year. But for the first quarter of this year, there is an upswing in violent crimes, and especially gun violence and weapon and Grenadian weapon of choice, which is either a knife or a cutlass. And so you ask, well, what can we do to mitigate? Sheldon, mental health. There is no health unless we are mentally well. So mental health is part of the total health considerations of wellness. And so one, if we do not have the correct medication, whether it is at the clinic or at the hospital, both at the general hospital or at the hospitals in the outskirts, in the community, in the rural areas, or at the Mungay facility, we run the risk of having patients and clients who are out there and they're not treated the best way that they should be. So we could expect to see an upsurge in violent crimes. And let me say this already, Sheldon, someone who is mentally ill or who has mental health challenges, and especially schizophrenia and bipolar disorders, those two extreme mental health, mental illness, have some of the symptoms of people suffering from schizophrenia and bipolar is that they are disoriented and they hear voices, they hear things, they see things that are not there. They have what we refer to as delusions and hallucinations. And if they do not receive their medications, they may be hearing voices. In fact, schizophrenia is a condition, mental health condition, that is marked by hearing voices. And sometimes the voices are distinct, Sheldon, and our listeners, and the voices tell and command the patient to hurt other people or to hurt self. And if that happens, then you have a proliferation of violence. So you asked the question in closing to that question, what can we do? We have to be very observant. So if we have a family member or someone in the community or even in our classroom that we see and we observe consistently behaviors that lend itself to think that they may not be in the right mind, then we need to make a referral. Okay, so if it's a family member, then we make a referral, and we make a referral to our community doctors, our clinics, our nurses, who can help you to navigate and to get the best treatment. Or sometimes we can call 911 if the person is exhibiting behaviors of violence and or extreme aggression. So we have to be observant, Sheldon. But I think priority has to be given to the kind of treatment that people who are diagnosed with mental health illnesses, that these people receive optimum care. And a lot of the times, the care for severe mentally ill patients is medication. And if we don't have it, then we are shortchanging ourselves in terms of their treatment and the safety of themselves and the safety of our nation.
Do we at this time, according to your knowledge, have active clinical psychologists operating in Grenada on behalf of the government of Grenada? And if so, how many? Loaded question. I know it's a loaded question.
It is a loaded question. Sheldon, based upon my knowledge of clinical psychology, we do not have a trained clinical psychologist operating on behalf of the government of Grenada currently.
Is that a dangerous way to be going?
Well, let me say this here, and I want to quote the current Minister for Health, Senator Lacrate, when he said a couple of months ago, in packing the budget and after subsequent discussion and pronouncement, that mental health was going to be given top priority of this new administration. And we are entering now in the 6th month of this year, right? And we're already getting ready to celebrate the first anniversary of this government. But let's say in terms of budgetary allocation and plans, we are entering the 6th month, and nothing visibly have been established and or created and or done to beef up or to assist or to put in the front line mental health. So there was a time in our history, Sheldon, when the previous government started to pay keen attention to mental health and staffing places with qualified people. And since this year, we have not seen a move that says that this new administration recognizes the status of or the need for adequate mental health care.
Now, considering we've just had 2 incidents basically within a month of each other, and now we're also seeing some other incidents. We're seeing, well, we've already passed the number of murders we've had in 2022. And we don't say that as a means of boasting and saying, well, this party was in power and we had that amount, or the next party is in power and we have that amount. We say it in the sense of, what do we do to address the situation? Violent confrontation between young people, that sort of thing. Yes, you've had the situation with the mental health and so. What should the approach be in relation to issues like this? We see an increased number of this, and we don't really hear much from the government. I mean, the Minister of National Security was there today. I thought he would have given some hope and direction to the Grenadian people in relation to this issue. Instead, they were busy having photo ops. So where do we go?
Well, very good question, Sheldon. Sheldon, unless a people or an administration, and it's not just in government, but unless we start giving credence to an understanding that the total health of a person includes his or her mental health, we are not in a good place. We are not in a good place. And it's not just talking about mental health, Sheldon. It's not just about dispensing medication or the right medication. It is also providing adequately trained people who understand psychology and mental health functioning to be able to provide therapy, to provide counseling, to provide coaching and mentorship of people. Sheldon, every developed country that you go to, they will tell you that in addition to medication and in addition to therapy, if we can create a positive, warm, enriching home environment, whether it is through your biological family or through extended family, or even if you are placed in a group home or a residential facility, but there is family oriented activities and family oriented atmosphere and environment. If that exists, it enriches the life of the mentally challenged person, and it gives them a sense of purpose and belonging. And so it helps in their recuperation, it helps in their healing. And so, to answer your question, yes, if this government, or any government as a matter of fact, if they do not place emphasis on the creation of successful treatment and medication and plans for securing the mental health of our population, then we are in a bad shape.
Indeed. And folks, we're speaking to Dr. Augustine Panchu, and we're speaking a bit about the mental health situation. And so, yeah, Dr. Panchu, we could talk with Dr. Panchu for hours about all kind of thing. But 40 minutes up, just now you're going to see the thing come up on the screen that we only have 40 minutes. And so I'm making sure that we I'm making sure that we talk as much as we could talk in the interim with Dr. Panchu. Now, Dr. Panchu, we've spoken about those issues, but there's also the situation with many young individuals who are at Her Majesty's prison and even some at the Bachelet facility.
Yeah.
Is there a program taking place with these young people? Is something being done to ensure that these young people are receiving the treatment that they need to receive? Is it a case that they are, I'm just trying to make sure that what ought to be taking place is taking place at this point in time. I know that you are one person that has been involved in the field. So that's why I'm asking these questions.
Okay, Sheldon, answering the question, I do not want to flavor the question or make the answer about me. Okay, so let me preempt this, right? And you asked the question, so I'll probably try to answer the question. But remember that I was hired as a consulting clinical psychologist to work with the Grand Bachelet project, right? And my contract was terminated in August of last year with the installation of the new government, and they promised. Sheldon, let me tell you a little about Bachelet, okay, quickly. The institution was set up, and when CDB, which funded a greater part of the program for the institution, when they set it up, they recognized the need for a clinical psychologist, okay? And that's where I came in. So my role became a singular role at the Bachelet facility. And upon the termination of my contract, the press secretary went on national television and radio and said that they had two clinical psychologists with master's degree coming. There is nothing like a clinical psychologist with a master's degree, Sheldon. At the graduate level, you're not a clinical psychologist, and let me say that now. So that's why the bank, they needed to have a PhD as the clinical psychologist. But so to answer the question, there are many of the staff members at the Grand Bachelet facility who have master's degree as counselors, but they are not clinical psychologists, and they cannot do the necessary forensic evaluations and personality tests, and certain cognitive tests, and tests to help create proper treatment plans for these young people. So since my departure last year, August, I could tell you that no such testing or evaluations of our young people who have been sent to the Grand Bachelet facility has happened since July, August of last year. That has not been done. So we are shortchanging our young people. These violent young people who are sent by the judges to Grand Bacolet for certain psychological treatment and rehabilitation. They are not getting the full services. Now they're getting services because we have well-trained people there to work with them. So please do not get the idea that, oh, they're not getting services. They're getting services because we have some really well-trained counselors, many, all of them that I have worked with, and I know the capabilities. And they're really good people, and they try really hard. But in terms of some of the evaluations that I could perform, they can't, and as a result, our clients there and the residents are shortchanged. Equally with the young population at the Her Majesty prison. They really do not get any rehabilitative services there. I could tell you that because I used to offer services to some extent at the prison. I would do evaluations there also. So we are lacking in those areas, and we are lacking severely. So when these young people are sent there and they do not get the proper treatment, Sheldon, we have a high rate of recidivism. That's a big word, which simply means that repeat offenders, right? So we see them cycling back and forth at the facility, and sometimes they will get the best of services, but they will recycle. But so that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying here we limit the chances of recidivism if we give them the proper care when they are in our facilities.
Great. And I know that we soon run out of time. We have roughly about 10 minutes remaining. But I'd like to ask about this one because I asked specifically about the Grand Bacolet facility because the information that I'm receiving these days is that many of the young people, and you see up he comes, many of the young people that have been placed at the Bacolet facility, I'm hearing that many of them have been escaping from the facility. And in fact, some of the notices that we see out there looking for some of the young people, not necessarily whom they escaped from, and I won't go further than that, but that some action needs to be taken at that facility if we are to save the young people who are placed there. Because I find it hard to understand that at this point in time, we have young people placed at that facility and they are not receiving the mental health component of the rehabilitation. They are not receiving the mental health component of the rehabilitation. It's very very worrying to me.
Well, let me quickly add here, Sheldon. When a teenager is sent at Bacolet, whether he is on remand or he is sentenced there because of an infraction in the community through his or her behavior, there is a holistic program to help that person understand the nature of the offense that he or she has committed, and hopefully work through therapeutically and clinically to help him or her not repeat the offense, so that the stage at which cognitively and emotionally they came in, they should not be going out as the same person, right? And that's what rehabilitation is really about. Let me say this here, that even when I worked at the Grand Bacolet, and for the history of it, there have been runaways. So runaway, it's
not a new thing.
It's not a new thing. But let me say here, if we provide the correct treatment, we start reducing the probability. That's what statistics teach us. So we have to create a richer environment so that we have less of. But if we do not provide the adequate services, then there is a likelihood that we will have more of. Okay, so I just want to put it out there. I mean, because the facility really, even though it's a locked facility, it is not a facility like the prison where the extra security and the walls, because the walls and the gates are easy to just climb over. So we're hoping that we can teach these young people better coping skills so that they will not have the desire, or we will lessen the desire for them to run away. But if they do, really, we try to catch them, we try to prevent them, we try to talk to them. But if they're really bent on leaving, they sometimes do. They sometimes do. Yeah.
Now, shifting focus slightly here, today, the 31st day of June, not June, but the 31st day of May 2023, yeah. June starts tomorrow. There are literally hundreds of people who will not be working tomorrow morning. The people who have the security contracts, they have been informed that the security contracts have been discontinued.
Yeah.
Mental health issues. These individuals, depression, and other issues that they may be going through. In fact, on Sunday, strange enough, I was speaking to one individual on the beach at Hope on Sunday, and he was explaining to me that, Wednesday's my last day, won't be working after Wednesday, and so he has his family to take care of and so on. But strange enough, he was in an upbeat manner, as in, don't worry, God will provide, and so. But that's one. I know of one security agency. We're speaking here about roughly about 50 to 60 people, and others where there's significant numbers of them. We have 5 minutes remaining, well, roughly 6 minutes remaining. Give us a little bit on what can these people expect and how should they cope?
Well, what can they expect? A lot of anxiety. Sheldon, economic hardship is one of the most serious hardship that a person can face. When you look your family in the eyes and you have nothing left in the cupboard or the refrigerator, or the electricity is gone, or the water is turned off, and you look at your wallet and it's totally empty, you become petrified. This is a really difficult for people who have children, in school, for families who have mortgages, for families who have car payments and medical bills and medication to purchase. This is a horrible time to lose your job. In the middle of the year, Sheldon, it is the time when children are doing exams in preparation for the next leap into another form or another grade. So for families need the money to secure uniforms and books, etc., etc. The results of CPA is about to come out. So let me say this here. It's a trying time for people. So what we do know, though, Sheldon, is that people are very resilient. You know, every period in our lives where we have experienced economic hardships, people have evolved, or they come out through it successfully most of the times. But here is tonight what we are saying, that there is a likelihood, Sheldon, every time there is a loss of job or economic hardship, there is a corresponding, sociologists will tell you that there is a corresponding relationship between increase of crime or in crime when we have economic hardships, because it is at that time when people are at the wit's end, when they can't see the end from the beginning, when Grenelec and Nawasa are threatening their very existence and about to bring shame to their family and the manhood of men. We really don't have time to talk a lot about that tonight. We do that another time. But people resort to, and we're not promoting it, but we're just saying that's a sociological fact. It's part of the statistics of how humans behave. When there is economic hardship, there is the likelihood of a corresponding increase in misdemeanors, felonies, and other crimes, because people have to provide for their families. So they look for devious ways in which to provide for the safety and security of their families. And so tonight, our hearts go out to them, knowing that tomorrow morning they're at home. I mean, there is so much consolation that we can give. What we can say, it's about to rain, so get a plot of land and do some planting. Yes, they can do that. They may be able to feed their families, look for another job, but jobs are scarce, because when you look at 50 to 100 people losing their livelihood tomorrow morning, it means that there are going to be lots of people looking for that one job. So you know what that means. Yes.
Yes, indeed. And folks, we're quickly coming to the end of our talk with Dr. Panchu. Here's what. I know somebody is going to give us the full version of Zoom before the end of the night. Somebody inbox me. We want the full version of Zoom before the end of the night. So somebody inbox me so that we could speak to Dr. Panchu for longer than 40 minutes. You understand?
Well, Sheldon, let me encourage our people, Yvonne and Teresa. Come together. I'm calling those two because they are from my village, right? And these are my people. So Yvonne Courtney and Teresa Colimo, the two of you, it costs about $140 to have membership for the unlimited Zoom for 1 year. So commit $75 each of you, 75
You're
easy.
brave.
Yeah, I'm calling them in, Sheldon, because they're the first to log on the program every single night. We're not calling Kathy because I want Kathy to do something different. So Yvonne and Teresa, those two, please send 50 US to Sheldon, right? Each of you, 50 US to Sheldon.
They can use the donation link. Just note what it's for. Just send
do that.
The donation link.
And Sheldon, yes, we are going to get you the extended version of Zoom. It costs $149 for the year, and those two will make sure that we have it.
But you're brave. You call out the two ladies, man.
Yes, I did. Yeah, I did. They can send it MoneyGram to me, and I will create the account, Sheldon, because I know how to do it. Yes.
No problem. Doc, any final words? We have less than a minute remaining.
Less than a minute. Let me say this here, Sheldon. One of the things I wanted to talk about, Sheldon, was the disrespect. You see, there is a correspondence. Sheldon, we've got to do this again very soon. And this, because I saw the disrespect. We're talking about
30 seconds.
Yes, I see it. Less than a minute. The disrespect that I saw in Parliament recently, when members of the government looked over at the opposition, leader of the opposition, and say, "Shut up." Let me say this here: we are promoting violent.
Oh boy, and yeah, let's. Dr. Pancho, we will have to continue that conversation another day. Yeah, another day. We will have to continue that conversation. All right, folks, we're going to take a short break here while I switch around slightly so that we can continue tonight's program. Nice.
This is not politics. Please don't forget, I'm just practicing to be a poet. Not qualified as yet, but have no fear. I'm going to get there. I'm not in this world to live up to your expectation. Neither are you in to live up to mine. I don't owe no one, no obligation. No one owes me none, so everything is fine, fine. I said I am that I am.
Yes, indeed. So we are back. And Dr. Pancho, next program, we had to talk about that disrespect. That we ain't going on mental health. We're going to talk about disrespect and that kind of thing. And of course, the listeners, as you could view on both Facebook and YouTube, and so they are very thankful for the information that you have given. Yeah, we don't come and talk nonsense here. We just talk sensible thing. You understand? We have a call online.
Hi, Sheldon.
Hi, good night.
Okay. I just want to say that, listening to Dr. Panchu, and I have to say, when NMP get back into office, they have a lot of work to do. Because these people, I have to say, they're done Grenada. So I listened to Senator Cox on the program in Grand Mall, and it's sad to say that the project reached that state that they had to call back the original contractor or the engineer, right? And now they are going behind the Siemens project, saying they have to change up the roof again. These people don't know what they're doing. Like they want to finish Grenada. When NMP get back there, we have a lot of work to do. Thank you, Sheldon.
All right, thank you so very much, caller. All right, yes, I'll be taking your calls, 440-7377. It is 9:15, so you can give us, something showing me 9:12, something showing me 9:14, something showing me 9:15. Well, you see, that's what happened. There was a fluctuation with the power inside here that caused that problem with the computer earlier. All right. So yeah, so those of you that want to donate towards that too, you could go on the Go, yeah, and we sort it out from there. Whatever we have remaining, we'll help whoever we can help. All right, 4407377. And as I said earlier, today, I was looking at To The Point, but unfortunately, I was not able to look at To The Point live because I had a call. Honestly, you mean I had one of the people that have a CBI company and sitting in cabinet and helping select the committee and so on as the Minister of Finance. I had him on To The Point and I didn't get a chance to call. I'm most upset with myself that I found myself differently accessed. I'll put it like that I was unable to call into that program. I'm very upset with myself. So it's something that we're going to make sure never happens again. I'll make sure I wrong one year so that I could call. Because I found it interesting. Several things that was said by the minister in relation to several issues. Now, one of them, let me see if I can pull it up, because yes, I did get it. I made sure that I took the time to get some of the statements together so that we can go over them here. Now, he spoke in relation, for instance, in relation to the issue of the 150. And let me see if I can get what he said here. All right, he did speak in relation to the issue of the 150, right? And why the 150? So let's just hear what the minister had to say, and then we're going to discuss it afterwards. Yeah. So this is like you're in class right now. So we go in and the teacher putting forward the section, and then we're going to discuss it afterwards as students. All right. So let me see let's see what he said.
Well, there were comments made on the issue of basically trying to ensure that the vulnerable, the poor and vulnerable in the country is looked after. My government has looked after the poor and vulnerable, if you want to put it that way. Notwithstanding, I believe that we were encouraged to try and do more if we could for the less fortunate among us. I have heard chatters on the road that the government took away this 150 from the seed program, and that that is the people who we call vulnerable among us. While I believe that I cannot make any pronouncement as to whether or not this government is going to consider any increase in payment to the poor and vulnerable at this point in time, because again, as you know, we have been trying to recertify the persons who are on the seed program, because I believe there is a lot of fat in that program, meaning the program should have catered for the elderly, those persons who cannot take care of themselves. But on that list also, there are a lot of persons there that should not have been there and so on. And I think the recommendation from the IMF is that the facility should ensure that it target the persons that deserve those payments, and not just any and anybody who basically can find work or is able to work, but we should concentrate on targeting the persons who need it most. When we say target the person who need it most, we are, as I said, we are doing the certification right now to ensure that we can do exactly what they're asking us to do. Some persons are asking whether or not, if we find savings, if we're going to increase or reinstate that so-called 150. I am not at this position to say that because the task is not completed yet. I don't know what the level of savings that can be attained, but what I can tell you is, from being on the ground, I know that persons out there who are not on the program at this point in time may become eligible for the program, but there are others who are on the program that may not be eligible for being on the program.
All right, folks. So let me say this. He's saying that there are people that calling for it, and you realize they listen to the program because they're talking about the chatters on the ground. You want to say chatters on the street. Just admit that the chatters in the street you want to talk about. And so we know that you all get horrors with the chatters in the street. But it is a reality that you all are denying people money which they need. You all are denying them, not the NNP. This was just the Minister of Finance. The Minister of Finance knows very well that if you cater for something in budget 2022, When you're doing budget 2023, you have to cater for it then. You cannot read a budget in November of 2021 and place something in 2023. Yeah? The budget goes from January 1st, 2022 to December 31st, 2022. Whoever is in charge when the new budget is being done has to understand that it's their responsibility, not the responsibility of who was there before. That has nothing to do with who was there before. It is their responsibility to understand the importance of placing that 150. And remember, their own minister stood up in Parliament and said that they're keeping, in fact, you know what? Let me listen to Citizen Rollo. Yeah, I want to hear what Citizen Rollo had to say. Let me see if I can pull that one up. Yeah, let me see if I can pull that one up with Citizen Rollo, as he calls himself. Let me just get it here, and let me make sure I get it over here as well.
Telesford, greetings, and greetings to you guys. I trust the gentleman can hear me. Now, I want to deal with particularly with the issue related to the $150, which the government removed from the quote-unquote poor, needy, vulnerable, hungry, mouse, indigent, and so on. Here is an utterance by a minister during the 2023 budget debate. Here we go. Just a moment. Ready to go.
My government has decided to continue the vertical expansion of seed program, which was scheduled to end in December of this year. This therefore means that families will continue to receive the additional $150 per household.
And it goes on. But anyway, my question to the minister, where did that minister in the discussion on the budget for 2023 get the authority to make that statement? Did she have the authority?
I would answer
Why,
the question.
therefore, in January, was the sum removed? And now I hear that we do not know if it can ever come back and all of that. Can you tell us exactly what is happening to that sum of money and when we shall get the retroactive pay?
Let me answer
Holding the minister to account for her statement, given she has authority. Thank you very much. Have a nice day, will you?
Thank you, caller.
In the following way. When we took office in June of 2022, and we examined what has to be done with regard to the seed program, there was no provision in the budget or otherwise to make payment of that 150 that we're referring. In fact, we had to go to Parliament to get a supplemental budget of almost $8 million to pay the indigent, as you call it, up to December of 2022. We were told that payment was brought in because the conditions on the ground was difficult then for the persons who benefit from seed, but that was a temporary measure. The word is a temporary measure. When we were doing the budget for 2023, obviously we discontinued that temporary payment because to do that, it had to be a situation where it was sustainable. Whether or not the Minister of Government would have basically said what was said, the consensus is that we could not continue the payment of the seed in the format that was existing prior to our coming into government, because as again, there were no provisions in the budget for it. And two, we ought to be mindful always that there is need to continue taking care of the less fortunate and the indigent among us. I have no problem with that. But we also have to ensure that those proceeds are targeted to the persons who need it most. You don't basically throw monies at people who are able-bodied and able to work. God forbid. We have less than 2,000 elderly benefiting from the program. But in there also, you have people who are able-bodied persons who are brought on board just for election purposes and so on. And we have to make sure that we target those resources to the persons who need it most. I wouldn't argue whether or not after we have done the recertification and so on, there might be some savings that can be plowed back into the program. But I'm not in a position to say that as yet because the recertification is not yet completed. But I want the people out there to stop this nonsense once and for all. NDC didn't take away anything from the seed persons. In other words, we tried to make sure that we work until December 31st by going into Parliament and made provisions for an $8 million to make sure that was done. And thereafter, it was not provided for because it was a temporary measure as far as we understood.
Now, folks, remember, these are the same people that went to Parliament and find money to give themselves additional salary 6 weeks after they got into office. They give themselves additional salary. They found the money to create the Ministry of Implementation, Transformation, Mobilization. They found the money to create that ministry. Yeah? They found the couple $1 million that they spent on transition leads and advisors. They found the money for all those things. But to find the money for the $150 to the people they're talking about, oh, well, we had to go back to Parliament and pass money for it and so on. So in the same way they pass money for mobilization and so, in the same way they pass money for all the other things, including themselves, and about to do the same again without even giving back the poor people the $150 that they take from them, they are on the road to increasing their allowances again. Remember, they already increased it by $24,000 a year. And they're looking for another roundabout means now to put more money and stuff more money into their pockets. And here they are saying that they don't know if they could, if they'll be able to make that payment or after the recertification and so on. Now remember, when he is talking about the seed program and he's saying there were a lot of people basically that were on the seed program that should not have been on the seed program. That's what he's saying when he's making that claim. In other words, he's saying that the seed program was used for fraudulent activity. That is the claim that he's making. If he's saying that people were under that seed program and they should not have been there, but they were there receiving money, as he called it, fat. That's the statement that he made. I can't put my mouth or he put his mouth when he said I may have some acting ability, but I do not have that amount of acting ability, right? And I have no makeup department here, right? So I can't put my mouth or he does put his mouth when he said that fat, right? But the fat that he said was under the seed program and so. Well, your party and your side of the house has a new member who just happens to have been the minister that was in charge of seed, who controlled that particular ministry from 2013 up to 2022. So you may very well want to ask that particular minister about the instances of what you're claiming a fraudulent activity under that ministry, the allegations that you're making. Yeah? Because you all are saying, and you all have been saying for the longest while, that basically what you're claiming is fraud. And by any other name, you're claiming that there was fraud under that ministry. Yet still we see all your hugging and kissing the same minister who was in charge of it. The ministry, I don't know about any fraud, but the ministry. Yeah, no, I could understand why Miss Gloria Thomas posts what she posts, because even after being asked, well, you didn't answer Mr. Rollo's question. Where did the minister, and we like to thank GBN for the footage, yeah. And even after asking him, why didn't you respond to Mr. Rollo about where did the minister then get the authority to speak and said what she said in Parliament? Let me see if I can find the statement by the minister. Yeah, let me see if I can find the statement by the minister. Right? Let me just play this quickly. Right? Let me just play this one quickly.
Has decided to continue the vertical expansion of seed program, which was scheduled to end in December of this year. This therefore means that family will continue to receive the additional $150 per household. Madam President, we will also be completing the recertification of all beneficiaries' household to determine how many families' socioeconomic conditions have improved.
Yes, indeed. And I think we have a caller online. Good night.
Hello?
Hello, good night, caller. You're live. Yes, caller, you're live. Go right ahead.
All right. Sheldon, I want to ask a question.
Go ahead.
The thing about it, I just heard you play that clip there, and the minister is saying that there was a lot of able-bodied people that could work and was getting the seed money. What I want to find out from him aren't they able-bodied people that could work and get an additional $2,000 on their salary? What difference does it make for the people, the lesser fortunate, the vulnerable people getting the 150 added to their money? And these people are getting thousands of dollars to get an additional $2,000, and they're thinking of putting more. So can he tell the nation whether or not they're able-bodied? Because if they're not able-bodied people, it doesn't suit where they are. And if the poor and vulnerable people are there to get the 150 and they're finding that there are able-bodied people, well, something is definitely wrong. I don't know if he could explain to us what it is. Or Sheldon, I don't know if you can explain to us what the situation really is, because I'm baffled by that.
All right, thank you so very much, caller. I, for myself, am seriously confused because, I mean, yes, they are able-bodied. I mean, some of them never worked before, but they're able-bodied. And they put an additional $24,000 a year on their salary, and they took the $150 from the most vulnerable. Remember, their salary was already close to $8,000 or whatever dollars, and they put $24,000 a year additional on top of that. Meanwhile, remember, they have a political leader that said that people not getting enough. That's what their political leader said, that people not getting enough. The World Bank recommends $650. And if the government really cared about people, they would make sure that they got the $650. But when he came in as Minister of Finance, he took $150 away from what they was getting. Yeah, that's what he did. But let's hear the minister's second response, because in my view, what you're about to hear now is when you grab a person and you throw them under a bus, and then you yourself go and drive the bus over them, make a roundabout and drive over them again, and then when you reach there, you back up on them again. Yeah, I believe this is what they call throwing a person under the bus. So let's hear his other response now in relation to when he's asked that question about not answering the aspect of where did the minister get the authority to make the statement you heard a while ago that even Mr. Rollo played. Where did she get the authority to make that statement? So let's see.
Somehow the caller, maybe he was implying that you probably didn't answer in full Mr. Rollo's question, but I think you did.
What basically is that he was asking where the minister got the authority to say that the 150 would be continued and so on. And I will not respond to that question because I don't have the authority to basically respond in a way what the minister said. I don't know what was actually behind it, so I can't really respond to that question. But I will tell you, I provided him with sufficient information to show that the NDC government would have done what it needed to be done to ensure that payment was made up to December on a temporary program which has come to an end.
The minister is not a crazy woman. She will not go in parliament and make that statement until and unless she was okayed to make that statement, or she was led to believe that it's okay to make that statement. When the budget, Hannah, behave. When you're going through the budget process, there are discussions with the Ministry of Finance at the cabinet level. The person who is saying he don't know where she get the authority and so there and he go leave that one, He basically saying she on she own with that. I know nothing about that one. So he throwing Gloria Thomas under the bus. So now we understand the post that she make yesterday. You understand? We understand clearly the post that she make yesterday. Because he is saying that he basically don't know. Now he's sitting in cabinet. When the officials from the Ministry of Finance come to discuss the different aspects of the budget presentation, what is going to be going into the budget and so on, he must have been, because there are only two people there that have experience within the Ministry of Finance is him. Same Mr. Dennis Cornwall, as you all call him, 8 to 4. Same Mr. Dennis Cornwall and Mr. Lennox Andrews. Those are the two people that have experience in the Ministry of Finance. So I see it as highly unlikely, nearly impossible, that those two individuals would not have been in the same room when the presentation in relation to this issue was made. He threw her under the bus. That's exactly what they do to her. Well, you know the thing go these days, they could afford to throw her under the... So they threw her under the bus. In other words, he don't know where she got the authority to go and say this thing. Yeah? A man who sit in cabinet, even though there'd be submissions from the ministry, there's a submission that comes from the ministry that says this is what we're looking for the next budgetary cycle for this area, that area, that area. So she would have had that submission done and it would have come across to the Ministry of Finance. And so Senator Gloria Thomas did not make that statement without the full knowledge of the entire cabinet. Any person who has spent time in cabinet could tell you that. And we know, yes, we're talking about less than 1% of the population of Grenada. But there are many other people who have been permanent secretaries, etc., and who work around cabinet that would know that there is no way, unless she has issues of the kind we were talking about with Dr. Panchu earlier, which I'm sure she does not, she would go in Parliament and make a statement like that basically binds the government of Grenada to having to provide a couple $1 million during the next budgetary cycle without it being okayed by both the Ministry of Finance and the Cabinet. So for him to try to pull himself out like he don't know, Mr. Cornwall, who you think you're fooling? You ain't fooling us, you know. In fact, watch, I have a song for you. Mr. Cornwall, I have a song for you, man. No. Folks, I will be staying a little after 10, huh?
Anywhere in this country.
There's no way I could convince me you didn't know. No. Unless was a case of this in cabinet, like, yeah, you went to cabinet, like, yeah. He joga and he threw her under the bus. He ain't just trying, he joga first. Yeah, those of you non-Grenadians trying to understand my joke, yeah, he bring her. He joga and he threw her under the bus, yeah. He lift her and he pelt her till he butchet drop. Well, don't know, some of them don't know is the butchet. Them old people know is butchet, yeah, they used to go and fix back a butchet for you. Right, he butchet fall when he bring her and he throw her under the bus.
I'm giving them Japan this special warning. Give me plenty room when I pass it.
440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get on to the inside of tonight's program. But let me tell you all, that's not all I know. You have to hear what the IMF said. I think some of us did not pay enough attention to tomorrow night and some more on some other issues. Yeah, tomorrow night we have about 3 issues we're going to have to deal with. We're going to need some time to deal with those tomorrow night. But I think it's important that you all hear what the IMF had to say in relation to these programs. And for some reason, I'm just not getting it to work here. Let me see if I can get it to play off of something else. The IMF statement playing rude. It made us call people and talk rude thing in the night. Yeah, right? Let me see if I could get the IMF statement to play. Let me see. Yes, I'm trying to see if I can get it to play using a different means right now. Yeah? And no, it's not working. Oh, here it is. Nice. So let's see. Let's see. Oh no, it's a corrupted file. It's not playing. So we'll have to leave that one off until tomorrow night. Nice? Yeah. But meanwhile, we're going back to, yeah. So I said 440-7377 and 347-329-3101.
Make sure they don't contact social command. Cause when you get a take to the street, it's only what's it is I must see. In the dance all are willing.
You know, even one or two callers have said to me previously that they have been paying their taxes online. In particular, I know of one person who is on this program. I won't call their name, but they are on this program on a nightly basis. They did contact me. They even showed me the documents which showing that like they're still owing, but they paid. And a caller asked about that today. And let me let you all hear the response that that caller got to their question in relation to that issue, because several people, the issue is this, several people have paid online. Some of them are outside of Grenada, so they've paid their taxes online. There's an amnesty. They try to pay off the principal amount as much as they can. They try to pay it off. So that particular listener, they paid off. But then after the money was deducted, the money left, it came off their card and everything. It's paid from their end. When they check the Ministry of Finance website page, it's still showing them as owing all the money, like they haven't paid anything. So it seems as though that is the first time that the minister hearing about that kind of thing. Let me see if I could find let me see if I could find that one to play that one here. Let's see if we can go with that now.
Well, the first thing with regard to people in the diaspora paying the tax, and they are still seeing that the taxes are not paid. I am not too sure how to answer that question, but I would say there is a difficulty with your tax and your confirmation that you have paid the tax or not. I think it's your obligation to contact directly the Ministry of Finance, especially the Inland Revenue Department, to ensure you can basically clarify those issues, because the system should work. I mean, we have paid bills online, and I'm sure that some of those bills are recorded in our system has been paid. So I'm not too sure what that is about.
So yes, indeed. So I'm telling you, because I've actually been sent. Yeah, I've been sent the screenshots by that individual. There is a situation that's existing where people in the diaspora are paying their taxes to try and benefit from the tax amnesty, and it's showing up that as though they have not paid anything. Yeah, it's saying call the ministry. There are people have been calling the ministry and they can't get through. There's one individual that said that they call the ministry since April. They've been calling the ministry, they get the ministry, they speak to someone, they even gave me the name. I won't call the name here. Yeah, me and Jude, me and trying to get public workers fired. No. Yeah, I ain't calling that person's name. But that individual promised to get back to the person out there in the diaspora, and up to this blessed day, that was in April. We are at the end of May. And they have not gotten back to that person yet to find out or to explain to that person, well, yes, you paid, but there was a glitch in the system and that's why your stuff is still showing unpaid or whatever. Or we're going to refund you the money and then you pay again through another means or whatever. None of that. None of that. Yeah? And even worse, why you all get to go like that? I'm playing the video. All you want to hear the audio, all you don't want to see no, I'm playing the video too. All you have to watch it. Because I want you all to see the facial expression of the minister when this person calls. I want you all to pay particular, those of you that are viewing via video, I want you all to pay particular attention to the minister's facial expression and his arrogant response to this caller. And let me just pull this one up Yeah, meanwhile, let me get all you look at thing there, man. Yeah, I realize all you like the thing. Let me get all you look at thing there. Yeah, so let me just play this one for you because I want you all to see the expression when this caller, a Grenadian citizen, is asking about a statement that the individual made. I know some of you all don't want to see the thing, but I'm playing it. Yeah, take a look.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I have a question. I want to ask the minister something. Minister, when are you going to make all the contract workers money? Because remember you see, as soon as they get in office, they will get problem. When are you doing that?
That may be your chorus a day about when we get into the office, we'll make everybody permanent and we basically eliminate the parallel public service. I would say this is a process and we have started it. It is going to continue until we get it fixed. Because as it is not sustainable in as far as I know. So you can continue making your statement that Mr. Cornwall said that he's going to eliminate the parallel public service and to make everybody permanent. I still stand by that statement, and it's not a lie, as some of those persons out there on radio purported to be a lie and a misguided statement to the public. The fact is we have done a lot. And so far, I believe we are on track to make sure that we can put the public service on a sustainable path, as well as to deal with some of the inefficiencies that we found in the public service.
Yes, indeed. So we've heard him speaking in relation to that. But remember, let me see, I should have it here somewhere. This is the same individual that said they would eliminate, let me see, all workers would be made permanent. Let's hear what he had to say. Yeah, when he was on the campaign trail and he wanted the votes of the people. When he wanted their votes, this was him. You see how he turned up his face and all kind of thing? And well, you could make your statement, and you could make a statement about Cornwall say, and all kind of thing. No, you damn well went and you make a statement to the Grenadian people when he was looking for all of us vote. You ain't get mine. But all of us vote. When he was looking for it, you went and you make this statement.
Employment. An NDC government will put an end to contract workers in the public service as soon as it takes office. There is
when they go do it? When they go do it, Mr. Cornwall? Let me hear you again.
An NDC government will put an end to contract workers in the public service as soon as it takes office. To contract workers in the public service as soon as it takes office. There are contract workers in the public service as soon as it takes office. There will put an end to contract workers in the public service as soon as it takes office. There is no need for a parallel public service in Grenada. All workers will be given permanent status. This will allow these workers to enjoy the same benefits that a current public servant now enjoy. We will also ensure that all workers benefit from pension and gratuity once and for all.
No, number one, all workers didn't benefit from pension and gratuity because not all workers work with the government of Grenada. Unfortunately, after the election, there were people that actually went in some of the meetings and were asking about when they could be getting the pension, not knowing that, hey, one, you're not a public worker, and two, you didn't work with, if you did work with the public service, sometimes you don't know the criteria for a pension, so you didn't work enough time to be able to get a pension. Then you have this promise that was made as soon as it takes office. This is not as soon, we're going close to a year now. Yeah, we have other promises like sell Grenlec in 6 to 12 months. We have take off people out of contract work and so within 6 months and that kind of thing. And we have this one as soon as coming to office. Now, this is not me talking. This is none of my callers talking. Well, only if Mr. Cornwall is one of the listeners tonight, which he most likely is. Yeah, I'm not the chatters in the street. I go by many names, right? But instead of In fact, you did terminate contract work, you terminate a lot of them contract permanently, you send them home permanently, like all those security officers that going home, that went to work today, and they know today was their last day in that uniform. Their last day. Yeah, we know that they went home. But all your mind, because all your friends and all your party members and so full in their pocket nice, because you all know is one term that you all get in. So you're trying to fill your pocket as much as possible so that when you're gone, you go live off your fat. Yeah, you feel it so? And you feel it so, catty pop. They feel it so. Well, yeah, they put an end to contract work. They send the people home. They end the contract and they end the employment totally. Yeah? Transformation from employed to unemployed. Real transformation. Yeah, from having money in the bank to being broke. Yeah? Real transformation. They have transformed people from employed, yeah, able to take care of themselves, to unemployed. And that's the kind of answer that he gives to a Grenadian citizen that calls and asks a question about, you made a statement during the campaign. You made a statement during the campaign and you're being asked about it. We have a call online.
Yes, so long good night. They send me home too.
Well, my brother, so your transformation, man, they transform you from employed to unemployed.
So maybe what they would do, because you say it's a process, right? Action in process, progress. They might call us back and give us points. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, Marcella, do you know what was the response of the IMF regarding the size of the public service? And do you know what is the size of the public service now in comparison to the former administration?
No, I cannot say what the size of the, you see, you have the public service. I do not have what the size of the public service is. I could attempt to find out, but I do not have that figure right. It's in the thousands, but I don't have the figure in front of me right now, because if you're just taking the teachers, police officers, nurses, and those categories of workers, the people working in different ministries, you're talking a couple thousand.
All right.
You could be talking as much as 6,000.
Boy, you know. Well, anyway, but they continue the arrogancy and the pleasure in lying and trying to trick the people of Grenada. So sorry.
Well, when they was looking for the vote, it was as soon as we take office, and the person who was speaking was a person that spent significant amount of time in the Ministry of Finance before. So if they're making that statement, people would trust them. Well, Mr. Cornwall is a man that works in the Ministry of Finance. So if he say that could happen, then it could happen. They would believe him. But now it's like, yeah, so I say that, so what? The hell was you? I say that, so I say it, so what?
So, and the other thing is that the plenty things they do, we did a lot. I wonder what we're really talking about. Doing a lot. What is that? Well, listen. But anyway, since Rollo going to deal with them. Have a good day. Have a good day.
All right, my brother.
Yes.
440-7377. As I said, I'll stay a little after 10 tonight. Once the calls are coming in, I'll stay after. If the calls ain't coming in, I'll go in. I'm telling all you, I'll go in. 440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get onto the inside. Yeah, I'm seriously concerned. I'm seriously concerned because it seems as though now, say what you want on the campaign trail, and when the time comes now to answer for what you say, you just have to, well, me ain't care about that. So I say it. So what? That's the attitude. So I say it. So what? Yeah. Go beat your chorus. Yeah. Cornwall say. So who said? You that said. Yeah. You that said. The IMF has told this administration that whatever savings they get after the recertification of the seed program should be passed on to the people within the seed program. Let me say that again. The IMF have said that whatever certification, after they complete the recertification process, that whatever savings, in other words, if they take a pile of people out from it and they're able to save a certain amount of money on a monthly basis, that they should take that money and give. And you know what? This is a total change around the IMF from the 1990s and so on, you know. Long ago, the IMF, when they want to put you under structural adjustment program or so, or they come and they're trying to look at how your economy run, one of the first things the IMF used to do is tell you to cut social program spending, you know. They didn't used to tell you add to it. But when they saw how doing that in Grenada helped the economy, is when they changed their perspective on this thing. We have a caller online. Good night.
Good night, Mr. Sheldon Scott.
Good night, sir.
How are you?
I am quite fine, actually.
Well, listen, I want to say something concerning contract. Because I remember that our dearly beloved Prime Minister, which I have a lot of respect for the man because the man is our Prime Minister.
Mm-hmm.
So, concerning contract work, he said that contract work is illegal. So, I want to ask this question. Is all the people who are on contract right now and had received contract, are they doing a illegal favor to the people of Grenada?
Well, that would include the two individuals that were retired from the police force and brought back in today. They were announced as returning to the police force under contract. He said contract illegal, so they brought back two people. And imagine they have to find a peer there who could do the same job. They just don't want him to do it. Two people, you know, they bring in on contract.
But what I'm saying is, he said contract is illegal, but for all, you're hiring people on contract. So that means all the people you're hiring on contract, these people are doing an illegal service to the people of Grenada, including the people that he hired back in the police force.
Well, that's according to his way of putting it. By his standard, what he's doing is illegal.
By this politics in Grenada is nice, really nice.
He says
anyways,
contract work is illegal.
Well, but why are you hiring people on contract if it's illegal?
My friend?
Because for instance, they just tell you hunting in Granitang is illegal. No hunting in Granitang. If they hold you, they go fine you or they go put you in prison. But yet for all, you're hiring people on contract. So that means these people are doing illegal service in Grenada. Boy, anyways.
Thank you so very much for your input.
Yeah.
All right, my brother. Yeah, because even today, they say contract work is illegal, but even today, I don't doubt the competency of the two individuals. But it was the same Prime Minister that was sitting there that was saying that our contract work is illegal. And he said it, you know, he said if there is a position that is an established position, Deputy Commissioner of Police is an established position. Assistant Commissioner of Police is an established position. The words out of the mouth of the Prime Minister were, if there is an established position and you put somebody on contract to hold that position, that is illegal. What has he done? So what has he done? It's not we that say it. We are not the ones that have been going around saying it's illegal. He's the one that been going around saying it's illegal. Ask yourself this question. All the people that have been hired since the creation of the Ministry of Mobilization, Implementation, and Transformation. So all you know them people on contract? Or if you them people in the public service, there may be one or two that they shift out our ministry and put in that ministry. But the vast majority of the staff there are on contract. And you all will love to hear some of the salaries that passing inside there. Yeah? You all will love to hear some of the salaries that passing inside there. Nice? But we'll give them a chance to release it. Nice? But if they don't release it by a certain time, we go release it. That's not a problem. Yeah? Because it was asked in Parliament. They refused to answer it that way, so they got to answer it another way. Sooner rather than later. Yeah? But we're simply saying here, next thing we'll send somebody before the Public Service Commission again for this one. But anyhow, it is what it is. Right? So, the same contract work that they've been talking about and saying illegal is the same contract work that they're sharing lap and cut right now. Yeah? You know, Grenadians we just speak with a kind of, lap and cut. In other words, they're sharing all over the place. Yeah? Nice. And look, somebody again, another Grenadian term, Mawet. 440-7377. 440-7377. And for those of you outside of Grenada, 347-329-3101. Someone was trying to call me earlier. Let me see if I can get back that individual. I know sometimes I just call back people when I realize I miss a call from them. Yeah, we're trying that one tonight. Let me try and call back somebody that we miss a call from on the WhatsApp. Nice? Yeah, so we'll see if we get that person. And meanwhile, remember the numbers 440-7377 and 329-329-3101. Nice. And let's see if we get that caller. Good night.
Hi, Shalom. Good night.
Good. I realize I missed your call, so we call you back.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes, go right ahead.
I was just trying to talk to concerning about the seed money with the government.
Mm-hmm.
It's ironic that they could find money to raise their salaries and create a new ministry, and they cannot continue paying the 150 and the households on the seed program.
Mm-hmm. And
I find that it's pure wickedness on their part. And I remember the commissioner saying that we deserve a lot of money, and under 650 you poor. So you know that people on the seed program receiving 4 something, 3 something, and you still remove 150 from the money, so you don't care how people are poor. I don't understand how they're thinking. I find the thinking people behind when I look at it.
Well, you see, that's the mistake you're making. I often tell my friends when they say they don't understand how somebody's thinking, I say the first mistake you make is you thought that they were thinking. They're not thinking. So that's the error. That's the error in the chain. If you think that a person thinking and they're thinking nonsense, you may be wrong because the person may not be thinking at all. They may just be doing things.
They're on the line too, on the line so much that they're getting catching their own lie. They're getting catching their own lies. And I find some of the ministers and them go, I need to go and see a dentist, man.
No. Let's not go down that road. That is not NNP. We don't go down them road there. Let's not go down that road. Okay, my dear?
No, they come in.
Let's not go down that road. We's NNP. We doesn't go down them road there. We just leave that for them. We don't go down them road there. All right, my dear?
Okay.
Yeah, we have to keep up the esprit de corps. All right, my dear?
All right, I understand.
Oh, God, I should have known better. Right. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. I think I have another person that called in. Nah, I think that person probably called earlier in the day. Yeah, so I'll leave that one alone. Nice. Yeah, so 440-7377. That's the number. Colette must like them kind of thing. That's the number for you to call and get on to the inside of tonight's program. Yeah? 440-7377. And folks, I'm seriously concerned here because, for instance, when it comes to the medicine, yeah, I heard a statement, and this is going to be the last one that I'm going to play before we end tonight. As I said, I'm going a little after 10. I'm a little concerned because I heard a statement there, and I'm trying to see if I have it. I'm trying to see if I have that one. Yeah. In relation to the lack of medical supplies. And I'm very concerned when I hear the statements being made, because I know for a fact the statements being made, one, are not truthful, and two, are contradictory to statements being made by the other minister in Parliament. So let's see what I'm talking about here.
In recent times, I've heard the story that Grenada doesn't have supplies in the hospital and so on for giving our service to our people. Let me say that that is an area that has to be talked about cautiously, because over the years, Grenada was part of the Eastern Caribbean drug service arrangement, whereby all the OASIS countries together pooled to pay for their drugs from suppliers. However, from time to time, countries have lagged in terms of paying their dues on time. Grenada is a big example. For example, in recent times, we were told that Grenada did not fulfill the mandate by paying the bills on time, and therefore, obviously, the supplier would not be supplying you with new drugs if you have not paid your bill. And I must say that irrespective of all the money that is talked about out there that the Ministry of Finance has, and we have paid pension, we have paid teachers, and we have paid whoever out there and we have not paid for drugs. Let me make it abundantly clear. Those outstanding bills are from prior years. I'm not sure what sense does it make if you leave the monies in the treasury and you have not paid your bills back 3-4 years back and so on, and create a situation whereby you cannot get certain drugs because of non-payment. So we have to be very careful when we make those statements about, we found a pregnant treasury and so on, and yet we didn't pay our bills. The former administration had to do what it's supposed to have done, and despite we have done our best in the last 11 months, it means that the debt that we are currently paying out on the drug issues and so on are things that we inherit from the former administration.
I don't know why you all keep interfering with Dr. Julie Dubois, And my problem here is this. One, he said that the bills go back 3-4 years. Mr. Telesford, when he was speaking, said the bills go back to 2021. That is not 3-4 years. That's 2021. The bills for 2021 would come in 2022 and have to be paid in 2022. Yeah? So you'd realize that Grenada orders some medication, it gets the medication, and so the process that would take place is that bills would be produced over a period of time and sent in to the government of Grenada. So the 2021 bills would be for the later part of 2021 that came in 2022. They might come in by the early part, middle of 2022, and have to be paid. Who was in power by the middle of 2022? In fact, who was in power for the majority of 2022? So when they're speaking about unpaid bills for 2022, they must also tell the Grenadian people that the OECS territory with the best record in relation to paying with the pharmaceutical fund is the island of Grenada. Let me state that again. And they cannot say that I'm lying. The island with the best record in relation to the pharmaceutical fund, the OECS pharmaceutical fund, the best record for paying is Grenada. Well, at least it was until these people decided, you heard the statement again, about deciding which bills are worth paying. Remember, you heard the same thing from Mr. Telesford too, about which bills are worth paying. In other words, they don't intend to pay some. And then I thought Mr. Telesford was saying is only 6 different medicines that were missing. That's not the impression. Don't tell me go home yet. I ain't going home yet. I'll go in a while. Yeah. The impression that we got from Mr. Cornwall is that no, we're talking about serious amounts of medication and so here, which is what we know the fact is. Because again, I will challenge Mr. Telesford on any program, anywhere, at any time. He could even call here and I'll tell him the exact medication that they don't have in the medical stations and the hospital. I'll tell him. Yeah? I'll tell him what supplies they don't have as well. Because I speak, unlike him, I speak to the nurses. I speak to the doctors. I speak to the people working at the medical facilities. I ain't just come in here and shoot off my mouth, I know what I'm saying. Yeah? I know very well what I'm saying. We have a caller online. Good night.
Yeah, Sheldon, question arises from that comments is that which company will leave you with an unpaid bill for so much as 3-4 years, okay? And then number 2 is that how come the drugs were there within that 3-4 years? So who is talking the truth and who is, because if there was shortage of drugs in 2020, 2019, 2018, there's 2-3-4, that is 3-4 years. I mean, why these lies have to be said? Yeah, it is. I mean, it's clear cut. If the bills were not paid in 2018 or 2019, in 2020, you cannot get drugs. Isn't that so?
Well, my brother, what I could tell you is this. That's the reason some other countries were having problems. And something something in the background is affecting my hearing in a bad way. Yeah, something in the background is really affecting my hearing there. Yeah.
Okay, good now?
Yeah, perfect now. Yeah, I'm saying that if you were not paying, you would not get medication. Now,
Same
the
thing.
medication...
Yeah, that is what I'm trying to say.
Under the period of the New National Party, what would happen is that sometimes you run short on certain types of medication because there is not the medication available. We had a situation where, for instance, India is one country that started not exporting the amount of pharmaceuticals that they exported before when COVID-19 hit. So other countries had to step into the breach, so there were shortages in relation to specific types of medication. As many of us may know or may not know, India is one of the largest pharmaceutical producing countries on the face of the earth. But they took a conscious decision when COVID-19 hit to start keeping back a lot of the medication for their own use within their borders. Yeah? There are many other countries that did the same. So you had shortages of some types of medication due to that. But Mr. Cornwall has admitted here that the shortage of medication is due to not paying. That's what he has admitted.
Yeah, but the statement contradict itself, yeah? It contradicts because they tried to hide one lie with another one, and the whole thing is exposed.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, better you just say what it is, and that's it. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Just come out and say the truth, and it's over and done with.
Yeah, I agree with you, caller.
Yeah, there is nothing wrong in speaking the truth.
To an extent, he kind of he pushed Telesford towards the bus. He didn't fully throw him under it, but he pushed him. Not like how he threw Gloria under the bus.
But you see, as I said again, they're trying to cover one end, but you on wheel other two. So you're putting yourself in more harm. Don't do that. It doesn't help. It doesn't help. Truth does reveal itself. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Have a good night.
All right. Thank you very much, caller. Yes, indeed. Yeah. There is a whole throw. They throw Gloria under the bus. Oh, I could do Gloria that, man. Oh, you could do Tanti Gloria that. Yeah. Oh, well, you could do Tanti Gloria that. Let me play. Okay, I wouldn't put up the video. I will just play the audio for it this time. I'll just play.
He was implying that you probably didn't answer in full Mr. Rolo's question, but I think you did.
Basically, is that he was asking where the minister got the authority to say that the 150 would be continued and so on. And I will not respond to that question because I don't have the authority to basically respond in what the minister said. I don't know what was actually behind it, so I can't really respond to that question. But I will tell you, I provided him with sufficient information to show that the NDC government would have done what it needed to be done to ensure that payment was made up to December on a temporary program which has come to an end.
Yeah, so I'm telling you, he threw Sister Gloria, whoosh! Yeah, he threw her under the bus. We have a caller online. Good night.
Good night, sir.
Good night.
How are you doing, man?
I'm quite fine. Actually.
I have one question for the Prime Minister of Grenada. Tell him we ride in plane, and then when Dr. Mitchell go, he coming back with money for the country.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah?
All right, my
Tell
brother.
him we just ride in plane and we see taxpayers' money and not coming back with nothing.
Only memories, brother. Only memories and photos.
Coming back with only a bag of sand, bring back in Grenada and win.
All right, my brother. Thank you. Yes, say only bag of sand that they bringing back, right? Yeah. So when we hear Sister Gloria, when you see Sister Gloria putting up thing, you understand? We might have been thinking the wrong direction because I tell you, that is a throw under the bus day. What she get all four wheel, you know? Not just a 2-wheel pass over, you know. That is all four, you know, and then they back up over. Yo. Yes, indeed, folks. I'm going to take about 4 more minutes so you can call, about 4 more minutes, and then we're going to wrap for tonight. about 4 more minutes, and then we're going to wrap for tonight. Yeah, giving you all back some all the time that I take making sure I give all you back tonight. All right. So we're going to take about 4 more minutes. Remember, not this Sunday, but the following Sunday, the pre-Father's Day hang. That's going to be taking place in Grand Mall starting at 9 a.m. Yeah, so all the different teams and so on. Get your teams together. Constituency versus constituency, mixed basketball. No, not basketball, sorry. Football and cricket. Yeah, I see basketball kind of in my head still too. Yeah. You know, it does be a sad time for some people in basketball. We've got a call online. Good night.
Hey, Sheldon, good night again, boss.
Yes, sir.
Just want to remind the people about the meeting tomorrow evening. Is it tomorrow evening?
Oh, yes. Tomorrow evening, 6:30 at Sir Daniel Williams' residence in Wester Hall. Oh, thank you so very much. Yes.
Oh, yeah, good.
Yes. I didn't make my normal notes. Thank you so very much, caller. Yes, Pastor. Nice. And I feel it's Pastor calling to say the same thing. Hello, good night.
Good night, Brother Sheldon.
Good night, sir.
Yes, I just want to remind our people tomorrow, Lord willing, 6:30 at the former GG residence. You know, I'm still waiting on some of you with your information as to traveling. We have quite a number of people already indicated that they're going, but we're still waiting on some areas, to confirm.
Yeah.
All right, so thank you. Have a good night.
All right, thank you so very much, Pastor. I know my people. I ain't even see number. I just see the light flashing and I know. Yeah. Folks, yes, we're going to take the next 2 minutes. But remember, Grand Mall on June the 11th. Yeah, so constituencies, get yourselves together. All right, so we're having cricket competition, constituency versus constituency, right? Males and females mix, right? Playing each other. So we know all the constituencies coming down with the intention to beat Northwest in Northwest. But them Northwest fellas say, hey, the trophy in Northwest, it don't leave in Northwest. That's what them fellas and them ladies up there say. And there's some serious people, yeah, they say they ain't leaving up there. So that's why I hear, so I buy, so I sell. All right? And then there is a cruise that's coming up. Let me just give you all the information in relation to that cruise. I was sent that information earlier. What did I do with it? I was sent that information earlier today. It's a way off still, so I have enough time to get that information to you because it's a little way off. Just trying to see if I know I loaded it somewhere here, but for some reason it got mixed up in my files, or it's probably on my other system. Yeah, so I'll give you some more information in relation to that cruise. But folks, in everything you say and do it safe and secure. I want to be speaking to and with you and not about you. Love each and every one of you. And those of you that are about to go and sleep, have a restful night. Those of you that are on work, have a productive night. All right? And in whatever you do and say, do it safe and secure. I want to be speaking to you and with you and not about you. We're going to play one for Brother Cornwall as we leave in again, man. Here we go, giving the tune going now.
Somebody arrange a thing with them steel man. Make sure they don't contact social woman. Cause when you get a take to the street,